Hey everybody, how are you? If you are joining me for the first time, my name is Shemaine and welcome to Sunday Setup. This is a place where once a week, every Sunday, I would love to invite you here to be a part of this inspiration and motivation to give you some quick tips for starting your week out with less stress, better health, and more faith. So I wanted to also encourage you guys that at the end, I'm going to chat with you, have some conversation, look at your comments, answer any more questions that you might have. And if you're just breezing in and out, check out my website at shemainenugent.rocks, ROCKS. I got a lot of things in the works. A book coming out very soon, that I'm working on right now. And a documentary also should be done in the next few weeks. And I'm actually looking for a home for that. So more details coming on that. And I always like to hear see where you are watching from and on which platform. If you are whatever state you're in and whatever country you're in, and if you're on YouTube or Facebook. StreamYard does not go on to Instagram Live, but hopefully someday they will. And I got booted off of Twitter. You know me. I'm such a rebel. Hey, Marcy McCall, how are you? New York City on Facebook. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Tina, Seattle. Let's see, Dennis from California. Wow, comments are coming in so fast. So excited to have you guys here. So grateful. So, hey, Gary Stuckey, how are you? Hey, Kelly. Marcy, how are you? I haven't seen you or talked to you in a long time. Hey, Bill, how are you? Hey, Dennis and Chris, how are you? Okay, so today I wanted to talk to you about losing hope and what is fair. And I wanted to tell you a little bit of a little story. And I don't mean to always use my son as the scapegoat to set an example and to talk about stories, but this is a good one. So years ago, when my son was 7 years old, he entered the YMCA novice swim meet. Now, little disclaimer here. When I was growing up, 2 times I was a state champion swimmer. So, I gave my son some tips on how to swim. Of course, but the novice swim meet is supposed to be only for those kids who never had any experience at a swim meet before. So what they would do is they would allow the swimmers to take more time on the starting block and to, get used to the starter being there and the gun and all the people in the stands and the coaches standing nearby and the anxiety of seeing, they're about to compete with other people that are on the racing blocks as well. So they take a little bit more time. And Rocco had never been in a swim meet, but I did give him a few tips. Yes, I did. Of course I did. So the starting gun went off. They all took off, and Rocco was amazing. 7 years old. He raced in a couple of different events, and at one point he lapped a couple of kids. He did great. So when we went to go get his trophy, to pick up his trophy, you go and look for your name on a list, and sure enough, Rocco Nugent, first place. And we looked below where all of the list of names of people who had, in what places they got. There's no trophy there for Rocco, but there's a trophy for second place and third place and fourth place and fifth place. But no trophy for Rocco. And he clearly won. Absolutely no question about it. So we finally asked somebody who was behind the desk, there must be some mistake. Clearly there's some mistake. And we told her what happened, and she said, "Oh, you're going to have to come with me." So Rocco and I went to meet with the superintendent of this YMCA, and we sat down and discussed. We went into his office, and he said, "Here, have a seat." We sat across from his desk, and we said, well, clearly Rocco won. He should get a trophy. And this man said, "Yeah, there's a problem." And I'm thinking, he didn't cheat. He touched the wall way before anybody else did. What's the problem? The problem, he said, was that Rocco swam too fast. Now, if you're shaking your head no, that's what I was doing. And I'm like, I don't understand. He swam too fast. That's good, right? He said, no, it wasn't fair to the other children. So this brings up a whole lot of debate of what's going on right now that we could get into at another time. But the point I wanted to make about this is that life isn't always fair. And, certainly in this situation, any parent would want you want to fight for your kids. And had I been the person I am now back then, we wouldn't have walked out of there without a trophy. I'll tell you that much. But what we did, I started to ask this gentleman, okay, he clearly won. I don't understand why you're not going to give him a trophy. You're going to give him something? I'm not kidding you. He had a stack of comic books on his desk, and he moved them over to in front of Rocco, and he said, well, he can have these comic books. Now, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, we're on the same page. That's not fair. It's not fair, especially to a child. And I bet you've experienced sometimes in life that, and somebody else got it. Last year we lost out on so many things. We lost out having my grandson graduated from high school, but there was no graduation. I remember the big pomp and circumstance. There was no family gathering. There was no celebration. We didn't have weddings and funerals, barbecues. And, maybe you lost a job. Maybe you're trying to work 2 jobs and doing the best that you can do, and you can't seem to make ends meet. We all have dreams for our lives, and we work hard, and we think in our mind, this is what's going to happen. I work hard, and then this happens. I get the job promotion. We have a relationship, and it doesn't work out the way that we expected. We're betrayed. Relationships are shattered. We lose hope. Life isn't fair. The hardest thing to do, and I'm speaking from experience, the hardest thing to do is to pray for those people who have hurt you, betrayed you. It makes sense at the time when you're just huffing and puffing like it wasn't fair. This is not what I had thought would happen. And I gathered my thoughts, took myself into another room, and I prayed for wisdom and guidance and understanding of what lesson I'm supposed to learn for this particular tribulations. And answers don't always come right away. Sometimes it takes years, honestly, but we do get smarter and wiser. And, life isn't always fair, but we can learn from these difficulties, and we can use the experience to help others. I want to encourage you on this Sunday setup not to lose hope. Instead, think bigger. If when something happens to you that you immediately go, that's not fair, think about, wow, God must have something even better planned for me. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And imagine, I just got goosebumps. Imagine yourself Christmas morning or your birthday, and somebody gives you the biggest present and you don't know what's inside. Try to shift your mindset, transform your stinking thinking into think something better is going to happen, y'all. Something better. I am so excited. And trust me, it took me, I'm going to be 59 in a few weeks. It took me about 57 years to get to this point. Just in the past few years, I started stop playing the victim. I started to rearrange the way that I thought and to look at things in a different perspective. Relationships don't always work out the way that they do. There are always going to be people who challenge us and push our buttons. And stop and think. Take yourself out of that situation in the heat of the moment and go to the bathroom, go in another room, leave for a moment and go, God, what am I supposed to be learning from here? Please give me wisdom and understanding to help me be calm and at peace with whatever's going on, because I think that's the biggest blessing that we can have in life, because life isn't fair. So I wanted to share a couple scriptures with you. When you've lost hope, this is in Jeremiah 29:11. It says, I will bless you with a future filled with hope, a future of success, not of suffering. And when you need strength, and boy, we all need strength from time to time. This is Isaiah 41:10. But those who trust in the Lord for help will find their strength renewed. They will rise on wings like eagles. They will run and not get weary. They will walk and not grow weak. I just love it. And I'm renewed in faith every single day. Every single day I have challenges just like everybody else. And every single day I pray to have wisdom and guidance. And it doesn't always work out the way that I think, but I just thought I would share this message with you to have faith in situations that aren't always fair. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope and pray that your week is filled with grace and health, and lots of health, because if we don't have our health, we can't do the things that we love to do with the people that we love. So health is most important in life, really, having faith. But I always pray for health, myself, my family, and everyone in my community and this planet. We need health. We need to end suffering. We need to end human trafficking. There's a lot of things we need to do that I'm not going to get into right now. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to take a second to look at your comments, answer a few questions. And don't forget, check out my website, ShemaineNugent.rocks. I've got a free download. Every day, people message me about questions for mold, what to do about toxic mold. And I've got a free mold checklist on my website, ShemaineNugent.rocks. For those of you who don't know, my home that was once featured on MTV Cribs was contaminated with toxic mold, and I almost died. And that's really why I'm here, because I want to pay this forward. I found a way to turn that mess into a message. I became an investigative sleuth, and I found ways to cure myself and my family with alternative, or what they call now functional medicine, like vitamin IV and oxygen, and taking supplements and exercising and sweating and drinking lots of water and getting rid of chemicals and pesticides in our air, soil, and water. I could go on about that. That maybe next week I will do that. All right, guys, you know what? I got to do it. I got to put on the glasses. Okay. Thank you so much. Hey, Tim. Yes, I see that comment. Hey, Joe from Florida. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Hey, I guess you and Uncle Ted's do. Yes, we are doing great. Hey, Kelly Finnegan. How are you? Hey, David. How are you? David DeHaven. Thanks for being here, Gary. I appreciate that. Donna says, thank you and God bless you. Thank you so much, Donna, for being here. I appreciate it. And I really do. I get so many positive messages, and especially on my Instagram stories, I post some things that I don't always post in my regular feed. And this past week I had a hater. I probably get one every few weeks. The one I got a couple of months ago was pretty bad. And I'm starting to save them, because people say, what? How could people say that about you? And when I share this with people, now I'm growing thicker skin. And it really, I posted on my stories, like, should I accept this guy's friendship? Should I, accept him? Because it was clearly hateful and mean and calling me names and things like that. And so I posted that as a way to show you, we all got haters. And when I discuss this with my friends and family who are full of the Holy Spirit, they just keep saying, God's got big plans for you, sister. God's got big plans. And I do think that's what it is. Not that I'm going to, do anything great other than share these messages with you. That's what is really important. That's the only reason I'm bummed that I'm not on Twitter, because some people need to hear these positive, inspiring messages. And I hope that someday I can get back on Twitter so I can continue to share them. But all right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day. Make it a great day. Do something healthy and happy for you today to make a difference in your life and lives of others. Have a great day. Bye.